It's that time of year. A new crop of fresh-faced graduates are entering the workplace, or so they hope. There is no room for error when the goal is to land that first job to launch a career. So how can these newbies make all the right moves in a challenging job market? Ellen Gordon Reeves, the author of Can I Wear a Nose Ring to the Interview, is here with specific tips to get any grad going. We're going to talk about the book title, but first I want to talk about 5 specific things that you have, Ellen, to help new grads. You come out of school, you're excited to launch that career, and the first thing I think that people often do is look for a job. And you say, don't look for a job, look for a person.
Exactly.
Tell me about that.
You've got to stop looking for a job and start looking for a person, because the right person will lead you to the right job or opportunity. And statistically, 80% of all jobs are filled by personal referral, and 80%, not the same 80%, I understand, I'm not a statistician, but they exist in what we call the hidden job market. They're never advertised. So we've got to get young people out from behind the computers to tell them, I tell them, stop hurtling your resume into the black void of cyberspace and get out there, start connecting with people, use your college career service, get your parents off your back and on your side, have them introduce you to people, do a lot of interviewing, shadowing, mentoring, volunteering, interning, anything you can, but get out of the house. Your job is not in your house.
Sure, and the more people you can connect with, obviously. I always tell people hire people, so the more people you connect with, the sooner that opportunity is going to come. You also say that it's really important to figure out what it is that you want to do, or if necessary, fake it.
Fake it till you make it, because I have a lot of young people, and actually not just the young people who come to me and I say, okay, what do you want to do? And they say, I'm clueless. Well, then I can't help you. Right. I need some kind of direction. I say, use the rule of 3. Pick 3 industries or companies or jobs. Do a lot of exploratory interviewing. That's not the same as informational interviewing. This is where you're saying to people, I'm not sure what I want to do. You're being really candid. There are no job postings at stake. And you're trying to figure out what you might want to do, so that you don't say, I'll do anything. Right. That is the kiss of death.
That's the kiss of death. And I think it's also really important that you're clear when you're with somebody, that you're focused on what they want to do. Somebody interviewed with me for a few weeks ago and said, what I'm really interested in is urban planning, but I can't find something in that area. And so I thought, oh, I'd apply here.
No, this is strange. You think in this competitive economy, you don't have room to do, this is what I'm saying, exploratory
That's the fake it, right?
interviewing when there's a real job. You can't do that.
Right, absolutely. Okay, so next you also say, clean up your professional persona.
This is a big one. I tell people, do what I call an extreme professional makeover. Everything from your paper trail, obviously the resume tailored to the particular job at hand once you know what you're applying for, a business card before you're in business, which many students think, oh, why should I have a card? I'm not working yet. No, your contact information, professional email address, no hot mama at Hotmail, a cell phone message that isn't, hey dude, what's up? And then your personal appearance, you have to be well-groomed, appropriately dressed, and even your voice. A lot of young people, particularly women, do that thing where they do a lot of uptalk and everything is phrased like it's a question and like is every other word. And I tell them, please also, when you're job hunting, nothing is sweet or awesome, because I want to think, when I think that you're 22 or in that age range, I want to think that you're young, flexible, adaptable, but I don't want to think of you as so young that you're partying all night and talk like you are that age.
Right, absolutely.
Got to be professional.
Absolutely. And some of that stuff I think is easier said than done. So a lot of times people would think like, yeah, I know that stuff, but you have some like a specific thing somebody could do to remember that. So when I'm going into an interview, if I'm someone who's accustomed to saying it's so awesome, what's one thing that I could do to prevent myself from doing that when I get in the hot seat?
The training has to happen before you're in the hot seat. I tell people, get a buddy, and every time the person says you ring a bell, or you have to give them a dime or something, so that you train that habit out of yourself before you're in the hot seat. Because it will come out. $1.
$1.
I'm saying a dime. What economy do I think we're in?
$1, right. Okay, assess your transferable skills. How does a new grad do this?
This is very important. Sometimes people say, all I've done, I've just been in college, that's all I've done. No, if you wrote papers in college, you have writing and research skills, and you have to talk about it that way. If you were a math major, you have quantitative and analytical skills, and if you want to talk about your extracurricular activities, you have to talk about them in the language of the job to which you're applying. So, for example, at sales and marketing, maybe you sold tickets for a concert on campus. You have sales and marketing experience, and you have to talk about that with measurable deliverables to quantify what you did. I raised $1,000 for our sorority. I sold this many more tickets, whatever it is.
So the bottom line is, is new grads have more experience than they perhaps realize that they have. And it's about digging out and being able to discuss them and articulate them.
And having done enough research about the job so that you know the language that the hiring manager is going to use, and you sound like you're exactly the right person because you've tailored your language, your resume, your cover letter to their needs.
And finally, number 5, you say sometimes get over yourself.
This is a big one. Sometimes young people unintentionally, I hope, sound more arrogant or naive than they should. We hear this a lot from recruiters. So I say to them, you have to be able to show with concrete anecdotes, again, well-rehearsed brief anecdotes that show you can take direction as well as initiative. So this means saying, when I was an intern last summer, after I had finished all the tasks they set for me, I was so excited to have the opportunity to reorganize their files. My supervisor was really pleased. But you're showing that you know how to do what they tell you to do because there's a job to get done, but that you also know how to take initiative.
Absolutely. Okay, so finally, can I wear that nose ring to an interview?
I say yes, but it depends where you're applying. 50% of the people out there won't hire you, so to thine own self be true, but there are consequences. And please don't take out the nose ring for the interview, put it back in after you get hired, and then wonder why they're not taking you on client calls. You sold yourself under false pretenses.
All right, so be true to who you are, but then position yourself appropriately for certain environments. Apply for the places that you are properly suited for.
Right. There are probably nose ring people here, but they're not necessarily on camera. And if you wonder, just call up. No one's not going to hire you because you asked what's appropriate in that work environment. Just find out.
Find out in advance. All right. Ellen Gordon Reeves, thanks so much for your advice. Thanks for being here. And again, the book is Can I Wear My Nose Ring to the Interview? A crash course in finding, landing, and keeping your first real job.